Hello.
Do, 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 do. They do it on TikTok sometimes.
Don't they do like this thing?
It's like they do it. It's like the last Christmas song, like do, 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 something like that.
I don't like it. I'm just gonna play you back in Battleships.
We
have
Sarah
3
was
people
like,
watching.
Once we finish Battleship, we'll start. And I was like, we're not going to be finished in time. And in fact, we weren't. I'm tweeting.
We have a whopping
We're
4
lice.
viewers. We're lice. I do want to take a picture of this setup we have.
We are we have her parents on stacked, the computer stacked on wedding book.
My parents' wedding album.
Holy Bible.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
And Great Expectations by Charles Dickens.
So
here's that.
Yes. People actually watching? No one has said anything.
Hello? Yes? No? Someone, so there's at least one person watching. They say, hey, back to you, my friend. This live stream will be interrupted briefly because we have ordered B-dubs.
And who knows when it will be here?
Well, I can see where my dad is.
Oh, but Sarah's dad. We are in Sarah's home. By the way,
this is one
of what are we talking about today? Trees. Who is to say
anything?
Well, we have some people like Instagrammed us and tweeted us some questions, so we'll answer those. But other than that, what are B-dubs? Buffalo Wild Wings. For some reason, it's called B-dubs
because dub is like W.
Oh.
BWW.
Yeah. Oh.
B-dubs.
B-dubs. Yes. You can get wings and cheese curds and chicken, which is what we're getting.
Yes,
so we're gonna have a mukbang.
We were gonna eat later, but then my parents were like, "What are we doing for dinner?" And I was like, "That is free food."
Free food. Watching for a stream for a car. Oh.
Mandy. I hope you can catch most of it
capped
too.
At 144p. What does that mean?
Is that anything on our end?
Thing?
Yeah, it's a quality thing.
I should probably pull up comments on my phone so I don't have to keep like.
Pizza Squeeze has 480p.
I don't know what that.
It's better, but it's still not good.
I'm stupid. How do I get to my channel? Oh, I can see.
I would like to make a general announcement that I'm sick as hell right now.
Yes.
And I just did not put makeup on, so this is just my face.
I haven't washed my hair in over a week. I'm getting it cut tomorrow. I'm just gonna make my hair lady wash it.
You're getting us at a peak, y'all.
Because, yes. I think I'm gonna cut it really short. And I'm scared.
This is very short for me. This is the shortest my hair's been. No, not mine.
My hair was really short when we started college. That was the DW. The video quality cannot tell us all this.
I want to see the delayed. I want to see what the delay is.
It's pretty delayed. Oh my!
There it is.
Oh, very delayed.
There it is. All right, we have 13 people watching. How many people watched last time? I don't know, maybe 2.
I certainly don't.
It's a handful. Do we want to just start?
I guess. Now there's 4.
Okay, you're the one with the questions.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Now there's 13 again because you left.
I was the one.
You were 14.
I mean, if anyone also here has questions.
Yeah, you can also ask us questions in the live chat. I'm going to be coughing a lot. I'm going to warn you. I'm going to try and...
Oh, wait. First,
hold it back.
I have an announcement.
Kayla has an announcement. I don't know
if anyone
what it
was here. Yes, you do.
I know it is.
For the last live stream, you saw me drinking what has become the famed Big Juice. And I have it. Once again.
She showed up at my house and was like, "Can I put this in your fridge?"
I needed it. So last time we were in our college house and I had this juice and I was drinking out of it just straight because it was mine.
Yeah.
And why would I need to use a cup when it's mine? And then everyone was very excited, as they are now. And it became big juice.
Yes, we are going to read some questions from Instagram. And I'm drinking cherry Coke, much like the cherry Coke that I spilled on this very computer mid-episode just a week or two ago.
So a lot of famous things happening.
Pop pipe, yes, Patrick.
Oh yes, I don't wash my apples. That's true. That's so true. Okay.
All right. Please wash your apples.
I simply won't. Okay. A question. This first one from someone who's in this very house. Do you think she'll want to make an appearance?
She's also sick. Hey, Emily. Do you want to make a live appearance to ask your question? She says maybe.
Okay, well, we can skip that one for now. The next one.
Mm-hmm.
Why won't you do the book club?
This is from my sister's girlfriend, Amanda. If you're
in the Discord.
Mom is insisting. Are you watching this from the other room?
Feedback is going to be so weird. Emily is in the comment.
No, make it stop.
I'm going to really hear myself. Mom, no.
My mother is watching from the other room.
She can literally hear it. She's in the other room. Someone's coming. Oh, hello.
They're saying hi to you in the chat.
Hi. Celebrities in the chat.
Would you like to ask your question?
Yeah.
Come hither. This is my sister. I got her sick.
She has been on several an episode.
My question is, who is the superior, sounds fake, but okay, older sister?
You or my sister, Rachel?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my sister has never been on the podcast. So.
But it's not about the podcast. It's about, in general, who is better.
Well, obviously, I have to say my sister. Why? Like, what were you expecting from this?
I don't know.
She just wants to stir up drama.
Yeah,
I have to go to bat for you. I'm busy.
Oh, someone just roasted us in the chat. What's the hardest part about making the podcast almost accidentally deleting an episode? Oh, no.
I'll be back when the ladies are here.
Okay. You can have a mukbang with us.
Guys, wait. This is very important that I show you. So we have two different Christmas trees because we're crazy. And this is the tree with all of like the homemade ornaments, essentially.
There's also like shoes on it, which is
my mom insists on putting like her baby shoes on this tree.
It's kind of like very Christmas shoes.
At mom watching in the other room, it's weird. This is a ornament I made on Friday, November 28th, 2003.
Young Sarah said
I made it with paper and staples, and I'm very proud of it. And this year I put it in the coveted middle spot of this tree.
2003 Sarah said trans right.
I just thought you should all know.
I'm a fan. Julie Costello in the chat.
Wait, Julie Costello's in the chat.
Right there.
Oh God, that is my mom.
You should also probably pull up the chat on your phone so we stop.
Well, I'm just looking at it there. I don't care.
Oh,
my mom loves that ornament.
In them figuring out that they were Arrow Ace. I'm so glad.
I'm happy to hear that. Black Dress is 13.
The whole family is here except for my family.
Well, my dad's not here. He's getting the B-dubs.
The dog, we should find Sadie.
There was a question, what's the hardest part about making a podcast?
I think coming up with topics is the hardest, even though you do it more than I do.
Yeah, I know I do.
I do everything else except edit. It's an even split.
I have to edit the episode for this weekend.
For tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday.
Oops. Yeah, I think because sometimes the topics come very easily.
Yeah.
You have this on your face. And then there are like very long dry spells. So
yes.
It happens.
It happens.
What percentage of the chat are related to Sarah? About 12.5%. Sure.
What?
You're probably right, Patrick.
who's to say?
Who's to say?
So okay, back to the other question. Why won't you do the book club?
I'm busy.
So basically,
I don't read enough. I wish I read more,
same.
but I just
realize you have
don't.
creepy dolls in the corner of your living room.
I do? Oh, yeah.
Horrifying.
Yeah, this is our weird fancy room.
Anyway, the book club. So Sarah's sister Emily, who was just here, her girlfriend, who was on the pod at one point, was trying to make a crusade for us to read this one book about asexuality, like the main character is asexual, and have like a book club. And so she was like crusading for it in our Discord. And so she wants to know why we aren't doing it.
I reading.
I don't read enough.
I don't read enough.
Ever
And like
since
I have
school, I stopped
so
reading.
many books that I have yet to read.
Same.
They're in California right now because I was like, I'm not going to read them realistically. Not going to do it.
It's true.
So I don't even have them.
We were having a book drive at work the other day, and it was supposed to be like, bring in your books you don't want anymore. And I was like, I only brought books that I haven't read yet to Connecticut with me. Have I read them? No, but I will not give them away.
Yeah, exactly.
Because one
I
day,
haven't read
maybe.
these. Yeah.
No.
Okay. What's our next frage?
From Katie. How do I accept myself and get rid of my unrealistic expectations?
Time, practice, patience with yourself.
Forgiveness.
I forgive you.
I forgive you too. Yeah, I feel like that's just really something you can't force, which is obviously extremely unfortunate.
You're welcome for that random German. I'll do it all the time.
When did you say random German?
Frage.
Oh, I just tuned it out.
Nächstes Frage.
No, thank you. A book she wants to read for the book club is not a good book, in my opinion. Oh no!
Hot take by Matea.
Oh my god, hot take. Well, I truly couldn't say because we obviously haven't read it. Anyway, back to the question. I think it's good that the first step you've realized you have unrealistic expectations. Yeah. Like realizing like, oh, these are unrealistic, or like these are expectations that someone else put on me, or like society put on me. It's good to. I'm so sorry. It's good to have that realization in the first place, I think. So that's a good place to start. Someone speaking German to you. And yeah, I think just time and like if you have people you can talk to, like friends who are like, hey, there's this expectation that's being put on us. Like, doesn't that suck? And you can all talk about it. And obviously that won't fix the fact that there are expectations. But
yeah, and also just like I just feel very self-conscious about the fact that my mom is watching this in the other room.
Yes.
Okay. Also just like treating your expectations of yourself, like viewing yourself as if you were viewing like a friend, like you wouldn't be that harsh on a friend of yours.
Yeah.
So
that's something you tell me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's unreasonable.
Sometimes you just have to hate yourself. Someone said finding other aces helped. Julie said she'll turn it on. She can still hear us.
You know, I don't care. Do what you want, Mom.
But yeah, I think, being able to find, like, I can see that she left. It's down to 17.
Bye.
Yeah, being able to find, like, a community of some sort. Don't leave us.
Mom! Patrick doesn't want you to leave. I don't care. Do what you want.
She can hear us anyway. Okay. Would you like another?
I would like another.
What is your favorite ace meme?
I don't know.
Oh.
I like cake though.
Just
as a concept.
Here's Mom. What do you think of the podcast? I think you've been on the podcast. Should your mom come in?
Hey, Mom.
Mom, there's a question for you. Do you want to come in? What? Do you want to come in? Someone has a question for you. It's a family affair.
It is a family affair.
Do you want to come be on the live stream? Someone has a question for you.
I'm not sure about this, but okay.
Someone wants to know, what do you think of the podcast? Because they know you've been on before.
I think it's awesome.
Thanks, Mom.
I think it's a good resource. I've learned a lot listening to it, just about lots of things, not just about Sarah's life, but
My life.
your life.
How much I swear in real life.
That was shocking.
Oh, yeah.
She does edit her language a little more for me.
There's a
So
dog here.
I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing the podcast.
Oh,
Oh no, they ran away.
the dog left.
She's aggressively supportive.
I'm not aggressively. Am I aggressively supportive?
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I'm just saying you're aggressively
Oh.
supportive.
Okay.
A lot of people really liked your episode, though.
Well, I'm glad. I hope that maybe it helped somebody. So it's just a learning curve. So
That's what happens when you have two queer kids and you don't know what to do with them.
you love them. That part I had down. It's just making sure that I was supportive of you in ways that you need to be supportive. That's the hard part to figure out.
Emily has entered the chat.
With the cheese curds. The B-dubs is here.
Well, I will leave you to your cheese curd.
It's actually 2 cheese curds.
Wait,
Okay.
I have a question. How would you recommend? What are we recommending?
Seems to be an incomplete question.
Okay.
Cheese!
We tell our parents. How do you
Oh,
recommend
what-
we tell our friends who don't understand anything? Oh.
Oh, wait, what? I can't
What?
read
So
it. You were
if
mumbling.
someone, how would you recommend that kids go about talking to their parents about like asexuality or aromanticism when their parents like don't
Understand it.
know anything about it or don't understand it?
That is a very tough question. Just be honest. Like admittedly with Emily, when she came out as gay, I knew it was coming because I just knew. But with Sarah, I didn't even know what it was, so it was kind of a shock.
You can't see it coming if you don't know what it is.
Exactly. So I may have to think about this one, but off the top of my head, just be honest and be who you are and just explain what it is. Sarah did have resources she could share with me so I could better understand what it was. So she explained what she could, but then directed me to other ways where I could kind of explore on my own and then go back to the conversation.
Direct him to soundsfakepod.com.
Exactly.
No, I think it is a good idea to direct to resources.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I told you this. I understand you might be confused. Take your time.
Exactly.
Do this, and then we can come back.
Exactly.
Like, you don't need to do it all at once. It can be a process.
And then it was helpful for me because sounds fake, but what I can't even say it now. Sounds fake, but okay. Wasn't around back then, but you would you sent me to some videos or whatever so that I could watch them and rewatch them and try to process on my own so that when I came back, I felt like I was better able to talk about it, but I could go through it at my own pace.
Yeah. Person said that their parents don't even know what gay is, so asexuality is so far off. And then comes being trans and no English. Here's the thing. Metaphors are great. Like, I'm trying to think of like a good metaphor for someone who doesn't really know what being gay means, like to explain asexuality, not in reference to gayness.
I had a good one. Remember the one I was like, the whole family is here now. During, I feel like it was like the What is Asexuality episode. Yeah, like the TED Talk episode, I talked about how like black is technically not a color. It's like the absence of color. Didn't I have a good one that was like that?
Yeah. Sadie's a little too excited.
Oh.
Sorry, my dog is.
The dog is here. Just like, I don't know. How did I say? I wasn't talking.
I remember hearing and thinking that's really good, but you think I can think of what it was right now?
I know, me either.
The TED Talk was really good. That would be another good reference to direct
Black
someone
color.
to.
Yeah. So, yeah, like how black is the absence of color.
You're selling this really well.
They said they liked it. They said they liked it. I don't know. If
But yeah,
anyone
no,
else
I
here
would
has
just
some good
say,
metaphors.
just think about like metaphors, because oftentimes when you're like, so this is what asexuality is, and people have no idea what you're talking about, they're just very overwhelmed and they have no means of understanding it.
Yeah.
So
I think like we said, you don't have to do it all at once. You can start small, and you don't have to get into like all the technicalities of like the entire spectrum or like the different like there's a lot that goes into it, obviously, but you don't have to,
and you can ease them in. Like you can also just be like, hey, like they're like, it's talking about relationships and you just like slip in something about like
I'm not interested.
I'm not interested, and like over time that might
Yeah.
our emotions.
And kind of keep in mind that if you're having this talk with your parents, you've had a lot of time to research and process it and figure out where you're at. But if they haven't had a chance to research it, like they might be overwhelmed. So it's okay to just do a little bit and then you can back off, give them time to process and go back.
Someone squidly in the chat said
Squidgy.
explaining it with food, like being ace is like not liking chocolate. I think I explained it too as like being straight is you like chocolate ice cream, and like being gay is like you like, I don't know, a different flavor of ice cream, but certain people like ice cream with like sprinkles, and then people are like, oh, but if you like don't have ice cream with sprinkles, you're like missing out. And it's like, no, I actually just like don't want that.
And like if you prefer your ice cream with sprinkles, it's not like you can't eat chocolate ice cream. It's just that that's not
it's not what you want.
Yeah,
not your fave.
Yeah.
I don't know. Elaborate. Hello,
Kayla joined us after
welcome.
dinner. Well, Kayla,
Well, we're about to have dinner.
do you want to bring me some salt?
Why would you want salt?
Mother, wait, get the bell. Mother, bring me. Oh,
Here's Sadie.
Sadie.
This is my dog. Her name is Sadie. She's 11 and a half. She's very lazy and stupid, and we love her.
So I will take Sadie and get your salt. So bye, everybody.
Bye, Mom.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God.
An ornament.
It was not a graceful exit.
Sadie wants the snacks.
Thank you. Patrick asked, any thoughts on how to support ace friends you see receiving hate online, or anyone supporting someone's right to exist harassed unhassled doesn't need to be limited to friends.
Let me read that again.
Okay.
I mean,
this is yours, ma'am.
Yeah, I got confused. Wait, what's
This
happening?
is
this you?
Chicken in your curd.
I can't read.
These are our wings.
We also have
I got salt and
vegetables.
vinegar wings, and I've never tried them before, and I'm scared.
In regards to your question, Patrick, I would say I don't need this. I would say that Sadie really wants my food. I would say that just like affirming their existence and being like, yeah, I support you, and if you're comfortable doing so, like publicly, like just standing up for the community in general is helpful, because then people feel like they trust you. And I mean, it's hard, but the more we talk about it, the more we openly discuss things, the better. My shirt says dressed to repress.
Unhealthy.
My hat says the Midwest. My sister got it made for me for Christmas.
So people are asking what's going on Twitter. So
I have this. My sister brought me this whole thing of salt. I have this.
what's in here? Oh, it's just vegetables.
You want the little one?
Yeah, because you're gonna use that.
Guess I'm using this now.
People are asking what's going on Twitter. So I'm not like an expert on any of this, but from what I've seen, there for the past couple months, I think, but it's like really getting kind of bad.
The past like couple of weeks.
Yeah, people on Twitter have been putting people that are asexual. A lot of people put that they're like ace in their bios. So I'm assuming that's how they're putting them into these mass group chats on Twitter, these lists, and then they're sending like death threats and just like really nasty pictures and stuff like that. Just like a lot of people have been being targeted. I think Yasmin Benoit has probably been getting some. I mean, she gets hate all the time, but I think she's been put on some of the lists. And so that's been happening. And I guess there were some accounts that were suspended back in October, but now they're unsuspended because it's been enough months. And so they're coming back and doing the same thing. Twitter isn't really doing much about it.
Yeah.
And I think kind of like going along with this, Avon on Twitter has been trying to get verified to try to establish like, hey, we're an actual organization. Like we have like a certain amount of like authority and power in this community, and it's not being recognized by Twitter, even though they have like 16,000 followers.
Because Twitter never does anything, because that's Twitter's MO.
I know the other day I had retweeted one of Avon's tweets about like wanting to be verified, and someone replied to us and was like, why would a sexless freak need to be verified? Like, you're not anything. And it was really sad because they were
Verify me.
a bisexual person, and I was like, why?
Invisible sexuality.
Yeah. So that's basically what's going on. Twitter, I mean, the Twitter corporation never really does anything about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
They don't do anything about like political death threats and stuff either.
So yeah, that's what's going on. So
it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
we gotta stick together, my dudes.
so yeah,
And
if
eat our
you
chicken.
see anyone getting hate, you don't necessarily have to like step in and join the fight, because that honestly could make it worse, like feeling them, but at least showing your support for the people that are going through it.
Yeah, like reaching out to them and being like, hey, I saw this happen.
Yeah, like,
Are you
are
okay?
you okay? Is there anything I can do? Like, just so you know, there's people here for you. There's a community here for you. And then, I mean, I tweeted something tagging like Twitter and Twitter support. I don't really know how much that does, but
At least it puts it publicly out there.
it publicly out there, and they do. I mean, it will show up in their mentions at least. So yeah,
That's the tea.
that is the tea.
What's the next question?
Oh,
Oh, it's magic. I don't want celery. I'm not a heathen.
I want ranch. Is there ranch in this house?
Yeah.
So we were on the question, what's your favorite Ace meme? Sarah's talking about cake. I don't think it started in the Ace community, but it's like, yeah, sex is cool, but I'm a big fan of that meme. Let's see. Kayla says, "Did your mom talk about giving time to folks about coming out as ace bet? It's important to acknowledge that sometimes it's okay not to come out at all. So I tried and it didn't work out." I think that's very true. It's not something you have to do, and you shouldn't feel pressured that you need to come out. I think a lot of people make coming out like a very public thing now, which is really cool, but I think it can make other people feel pressured that all these other people are coming out, now I have to.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't have to. Of course, there are many reasons that you would want to. And if you want to, obviously go for it. But yeah, I think that's important to acknowledge.
Do it on your own time. And if your own time is never doing it, then
That's fine.
that's okay.
Your favorite Ace meme?
Space.
Good one. A question from such a mysterious person. Is it legal to sue the concept of illness asking for a friend? Who could ask such a thing?
I don't know. I think that whoever said that is very, very correct in the fact that we should be able to sue the concept of illness.
So you're not getting any chicken.
And I don't like being sick, other people being sick. I did get some antibiotics today.
It's 100% legal to sue illness. Okay, good to know.
Thank you for letting me know.
There you go.
Yeah, I would like to sue illness just in general, all types of illness. We're going to talk cancer, get that out of here. ALS, get that out of here. Get it out of here. I just really sounded like that Midwestern guy on Facebook.
Midwestern
He's from Wisconsin. Does
I don't
anyone know what I'm
know.
talking about? He makes videos about Midwestern stuff. I'm sorry that happened to you, Trapped Moose. But I hope that it can be better in the future if and when you feel comfortable trying again with the same people or with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to sue the concept of illness, that's all. Give me some tea.
Another question from your sister's girlfriend.
But sex is great. Have you seen Space? Yeah, sure, sex is great, but have you seen Space?
That's a good one.
Great point.
And this, I'm sure, will get Sarah going.
I'm sorry. Celery doesn't taste good,
Celery doesn't taste like anything.
and it takes more effort to chew than calories it provides.
I like celery. It's just a vehicle for ranch.
How long will the stream be? Until we run out of things to say.
Yeah.
But it'll be archived to YouTube. So if you have to leave or you missed some, you can see all of it whenever you want. The stream will be 7
I don't
hours.
know about that.
We have to see cats.
Unfortunately, we do have to see cats tonight. This is from your sister's girlfriend.
Mhm.
Thoughts on Rey and Kylo Ren's kiss? Thematically necessary or wrongly sexualized? I'm gonna sit here and watch this happen.
Look.
Oh, I guess spoilers.
Yeah, you should have really just given a spoiler warning. Oh,
I'm
Kayla.
just reading it. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. All right. Spoiler for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I mentioned it in our pod that's coming out on Sunday.
You didn't say spoiler alert when we talked about it on the pod either. But now you know. Oops, sorry.
Kayla, look what you've done.
I was just reading it.
All right, I'm gonna say things very vaguely.
I mean,
Unnecessary. The scene in which certain events transpired would have been fine without certain events. Certain events didn't need to transpire. That's all I'm gonna say. Kayla has spoiled the movie for all 18 people.
oh my god, that's like, there's so many other things that happen in it that are like billion times more important.
We need to desynchronize our chewing. That's all right. They saw it coming.
Are we chewing at the same time?
Apparently. Listen. I love Rey as an Arrow Ace icon. And
Okay, well, first of all, you can still be arrow race and kiss people.
that's true. But I think that
We're talking about the new Star Wars movie.
yeah, the Reylo relationship with Rey and Kylo Ren. Sorry at my friend Brad, but it's I think it's a very toxic relationship and it's not a healthy relationship. And I just don't think it's a good idea.
I had something. Oh. Okay, we've already spoiled it. They kissed. Whatever. What I think is, first of all, she can still be arrow ace and kiss someone. Second of all, maybe this is just my bias because like I didn't want there to be a romantic relationship thing. But I saw it as a platonic kiss, which I know doesn't make sense. We talked about this in the episode that's coming out. I think I said this on the episode.
Mm-hmm, you did.
But I know it doesn't make sense for like a kiss to be platonic, but like I saw it as like the moment that happened when they kissed, like there was a lot of stuff going on, and I saw it as just like a physical way for them to like express like gratitude or like whatever.
And as an Arrow, I'm like, I don't get that at all.
I mean, I've never had a platonic kiss before, so like I don't know what I'm talking about. But to me, like it's not like there was spoilers, I guess. I don't know. It's not like there was like romantic words or like blah blah blah. It was just like it just happened, you know? Like the way it was shot, the way it looked, like it wasn't, I don't know.
If you say so.
But maybe that's just me not wanting to see it that way.
Someone asked why is it toxic? I don't know if toxic is the right word. I think
Unhealthy for sure.
it's unhealthy just because, especially if you look at the last film, if you look at The Last Jedi, like Rey's story has been like largely revolving around Kylo and Kylo manipulating her.
I mean, there's just so many times where he's like using her emotions against her, which like obviously he's a villain, and that's like not fine to do. Like obviously you shouldn't do that to people, but like as a villain, it's expected. But then you don't want someone who's like messing with your emotions like that to then turn around and be someone that's like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much about it.
I mean, yeah, and there's a lot of arguments that I can see on both sides.
Yeah.
Like I understand why people
I get why
see it
people
and ship it and like why people aren't as concerned about it. But
yeah, I just
I don't know.
I think Kylo Ren has definitely some very good redeeming moments in various parts of the series, but that doesn't excuse to me what manipulative things he had done in the past. It's going to be quite difficult to have a non-toxic relationship with a Sith. That's true.
That's fair.
Unless you're both Sith. A lot of people are shipping Rey with Poe and Finn, OT3. Yeah, I think that Rey just has a really nice platonic relationship with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the Finn Poe kiss. Fuck.
Oh my god. In that one scene, you could like totally see that it should have happened.
Should have happened. Anyway, what's the next big thing for the pod?
Oh,
I don't know.
I want an agent. But that costs
Ayla really wants an agent. But we have to pay an agent.
I know. I would like my like wish list for what's next for the pod is for us to be able to do more stuff like outside of the community, I guess. More like activism, I guess. More like
Outreach into the real world.
Yeah, like Yasmin Benoit. Really, I just want to be her.
Ayla wants to be Yasmin.
But I think just like, and there's some stuff that should be coming up next year. We don't know when that like is our first kind of big opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think doing more outreach, like being quoted in like articles or like being interviewed about stuff or like being able to go to conferences or stuff like that is I think what I want next.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that takes work. That's why I want an agent is because I don't want to have to find those things myself because it's a lot of work to try to like keep reaching out to people. How would you attract listeners from the outside world? I think it's not so much for me about attracting more listeners to us as much as kind of like just spreading awareness.
Like using the platform we have.
Yeah. Like obviously it would be nice to get more listeners. I don't necessarily think that like we're going to get a lot of listeners that are like not Ace or Arrow.
A-spec in some way.
Or like no, like a lot of our people that aren't A-spec in some way, they listen because they know someone who is or something like that.
I thought of something to add.
Okay.
Julie thought of something to add.
Okay.
Remind them of the question. There might be some new viewers.
Okay. The question was if I had any advice for coming out to parents. And we talked about just being open and honest, giving them a little information, maybe some resources so they could research it on their own time and then come back and talk about it. Mm-hmm. So I said I needed to think about it because the question caught me off guard. So then I thought of something else I wanted to add. And that is you may get all kinds of reactions. They could be positive. They could be negative. They could be just confusion. They may not understand. They may come back quickly. They may take a while to process. But whatever they do, remember it's not on you. That's on them to figure it out and work through on their own. That doesn't mean you're wrong, you're bad, there's anything wrong with you. You're not responsible for them figuring it out or they're figuring out their own emotions. You just do you and you're okay. But just remember that you're not responsible for them. And if they do have a negative reaction, then that doesn't mean that you're wrong.
And you can try to do things to help mitigate that, but it's not your responsibility to do so.
Right. I hope that made sense.
I think it made sense.
Okay. Thank you. I just thought of that and I'm like, I want to add that. So I'm going to go again.
Okay.
Goodbye.
They said it was helpful.
They said it was helpful.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Who's your favorite Ace character? Myself.
The character that Sarah wrote in the musical we made.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's just like not many Ace
I
characters.
mean, there's some that I had canon as Ace.
No clue.
Rey, Luke Skywalker. I'm running out.
That's it.
That's oh no, I'm gonna die.
I still somehow haven't watched BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that because there's so little representation. Like my favorite, like of course I like A-spec characters, but like I want to like them as a person and not just be attracted to them because of their sexuality. Mm-hmm. What a funny thing to say, as an Ace person. But like I don't want to be like that person, but like when I'm writing shit, I will write Arrow Ace people in, and there's something I'm writing right now where I like the Airways character I put in there.
Her favorite characters are her own.
His name is Max.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
Okay. Are we watching Riverdale? I've watched some Riverdale.
Yeah,
Like
I've
in
never
passing when other people are
I've
watching
never
it.
watched it on purpose. But I've watched it.
From what I have watched, bananas.
It's insane.
It is truly. Where's the plot?
Where's the plot? Where's the jingle jangle? Yeah, not watching Riverdale, but give me the tea. Is there Riverdale tea? If you know Riverdale tea, please tell
The
me.
tea is that the character of it's not Archie, it's the other one I think. Jughead was written as Ace in one version of the comics.
Yeah. And then they wanted to
And
put
then
him with
they didn't.
Betty.
Yeah. Indeed. I mean, he still could be Ace, but like,
Yeah. Seems unlikely with the way it's been portrayed.
yeah.
What do you think of Jughead not being Ace? I think it's a shame. I think it's a missed opportunity.
I agree. And I think, like, I feel like I read somewhere, or maybe this is just me, and I saw this about something else, about, like, well, it's harder to make him, like, an interesting character if you can't, like, put him in relationships, but
That's what I have to say to that.
It's not true. And saying about, like, the show is so over the top anyway, and, like, there's so many, like, from what I have watched and just, like, know from other people that watch it, there's so many relationships that happen and so much, like, just, like, sleeping around and love triangles and, like, every character is in a relationship. And it's, like, it wasn't necessary because there are relationships elsewhere if, like, you're trying to add that kind of plot. Oh, hiccups.
It's like, are you telling me that I'm a less interesting person because I don't want to go around fucking people?
Yeah.
Like, is that your argument? Because that's rude.
Yeah.
I'm very interesting. To quote John Lovett, I went to an escape room one time. I've actually never been to an escape room.
I feel like you would hate escape rooms.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's a missed opportunity. I wasn't surprised at all. Like, it's a CW show, and like one of the main things of a CW show is that everyone's fucking, you know?
Aunt Hilda, very Ace vibes on the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
I feel like I've heard it's good.
Also, that's witchy, you know? Witchy is Ace. Ace is witchy.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we have a whole episode about that?
Yes, basically. Hit me with another question. Take a gulp of that big juice.
I will. Okay, so we did the Ray and Kylo. Are we considering forming an Ace-centered company / group?
Kayla, take it away.
I'm sipping. Kind of along with what I would like for the future of the pod. I think it would be really cool to be able to do something, or like, there's a lot of other asexual podcasts that have been cropping up recently, which is really cool. I think it'd be cool to make like a podcast network or collective. That's another thing that like, that takes a lot of time and money and resources. And I think like one of the big things that like collectives of podcasts are able to offer is like advertising and like benefits and stuff. And that's something that like we don't even have a lot of. And like, it's nice that we're able to get like the support we need from patrons and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not like we necessarily like need ad revenue. Obviously, if we did, it would probably help us like, I don't know, get an agent or whatever. Like, it'd be nice to have extra money, obviously. But so I don't know. I think it would definitely take some work. It's something that I think is like, I think would be really cool. But thoughts?
Yeah.
Clearly, Sarah's less enthusiastic about it.
It's been a more recent thing that we've talked about.
Yeah.
So I just don't know that much about it at this point. But.
Yeah. At this point, it's just something that I think is like a far-fetched like dream, or like something that I would really like to happen. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. So this is what happens when you put Taylor in charge of the pace of
found
things.
it.
Normally that's my job.
What advice do you have for someone who's starting a chill conversation podcast? have a chill conversation.
Pretend. Okay, here's the thing. This is twofold, and it's kind of contradictory. But pretend no one's listening, because if you try too hard to be like, I'm a podcast, it's going to sound very awkward.
Mhm.
But with that said, be aware that there may not be, but there could be a large number of people listening to what you say.
Mhm.
If there's something to do with, someone else's privacy, maybe don't say it. Like, you could always also just cut it out at a later time. Me and Kayla do that all the time. Like, we'll just like say something and be like, that shouldn't go in the podcast.
We'll like go off on tangents about like people that we know, and then we're
Yeah.
like, okay, we're gonna have
and
to
then we're
cut
like,
this
we
out
can't
because
tell
like,
this
we can't.
personal story about a random person we know. So just be aware that we usually think of it in terms of like talking about other people and like not that, but also in terms of just like what you say could be heard by a large group of people. So like, don't be a dick. Yes.
But I think, a big part of it, and it's hard to like, I think it's especially easy if you're doing it with like a co-host, just like pretending that you're just talking to each other.
Patrick just goes, tangents unglaublich, which means unbelievable.
Rude. But yeah, just like trying not to like, I don't know, try not to like pander or anything of
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm gonna like make this segment. Like, obviously it also helps to be prepared, or like,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's gonna be a chill conversation podcast, it obviously doesn't need to be super prepared, but like having like a baseline topic or like stuff like that, and then just kind of going. What's other? A text from my mother.
Oh my god. If I don't make it through tonight from all this coughing, you guys have been great.
Oh, I guess this is just my podcast now. Hello, it's just me.
Was there another question? Oh, what other Ace Era podcasts do we know of? There's the AOK podcast.
The AOK podcast, Ace Interpretations.
Mhm. What's the one that has to do with space?
We need.
I need some there.
We need some space. There's Ace Space podcast.
Mm-hmm.
A podcast about being ace and loving space.
Don't die. Thank you.
What is it? Need some. Oh wait, it was just like we need some space podcast, and the ace and space is in parentheses. I think Ace Interpretations is the one that's like about like fandom. Or maybe that's a different one.
Just listen to all of them and get back to us.
There was another one, and I think it's been on hiatus for a while. But I think it's called Aced It.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on hiatus. But it was kind of like a Q&A podcast. It's been on hiatus for several months.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. I think our other questions were on Twitter.
Was that all Instagram?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had.
There was also one on the Instagram comments.
Oh yeah, I did take a picture of that. If they don't have to be aspect related, what are our favorite musicals? This is really hard.
It's a very hard question. It's like choosing between my children. I will say that the musical I rewatch most often, not necessarily my favorite musical, but the one I rewatch most often is Newsies, because I'm trash.
Yeah.
But that's also in part because there is a professionally recorded version available online. Like Falsettos, I also really like. I've only seen it like twice, but because there is a professionally recorded like show, I can just watch it. And that's the kind of show where like I don't often just like listen to the soundtrack, but like when I get into it, I get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I rewatched, like Newsies is probably the show I've rewatched the most.
We both saw Moulin Rouge recently.
Yeah,
that was wonderful.
It was amazing. Moulin Rouge is one of my like favorite movies, and it is like a movie musical.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also say one of my favorite movies overall is Sound of Music, just from like childhood nostalgia. So I guess I would have to count that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I've been lucky enough to see a lot of musicals.
I just love musical theater. I tend to be more inclined to like more modern musicals. I'm less of a classics gal. Sorry to those of you who are into classics. But I just love musical theater. It's artful.
I agree.
Have you guys seen Billy Elliot? I have not seen Billy Elliot. I've seen some of like the dance scenes from it.
I have not seen anything.
Tom Holland was in it as a youth.
Oh,
But I have not seen Billy Elliot.
I also have not.
Did we get any cow-themed Christmas gifts?
I don't think I did.
Oh my god. My aunt gave me an oven mitt with a cow on it.
Oh, I forgot to ask Twitter if anyone got like any merch or anything for Christmas. 'Cause I know some people were talking about like getting other people merch.
Yeah. Have you seen The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals from Star Kid? I have not seen that particular Star Kid musical.
I do love Star Kid, but
But I've heard good things about that musical.
Star Kid is good.
Yes. Go Blue. They're from the University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Firebringer in Chicago.
Did you really?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Did you go with your sister?
I went with my friends.
Oh. I got a cow in space hoodie for Christmas. Oh,
Oh my god.
it's exciting. She's gonna die. Drink your pop.
I'm gonna drink my water.
Okay. Would you like another question?
Mm-hmm.
It's from Patrick.
Mm.
You're hosting a dinner party together.
Mhm.
We are. You can pick 2 fictional characters and 2 non-fictional guests for your 10-seat table.
Do they have to be alive?
It does not say. Wait, 10-seat one? So it's 2 of us. Okay, yeah, we each get to pick
Each get-
2 fictional and 2 non-fictional.
My non-fictional are Carrie Fisher. If we're allowed to do dead people, Carrie Fisher. Which she died 3 years ago yesterday. My instinct was to say Lin-Manuel Miranda, but recently Dan Levy has been making a play for his spot.
I would say for real people, I would say probably Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Okay, so you'll
and-
invite Lynn.
Oh yeah,
I'll invite Dan.
Yeah, oh yeah, and then who's another real person?
Obama.
I was thinking about, but yeah, I'll invite
Michelle
Obama.
Obama, even.
Well, we can't. I'll pick Obama. I'll bring Obama.
Cool.
Tina
Imagine Obama
Fey
and
is a good
Carrie
one.
Fisher.
What
Together.
about like Kristen Wiig? She's so fun.
Die.
Okay, fictional guests. Hermione Granger.
That'd be nice. Wow.
Trying to think of like things I've watched and read recently.
Yeah, like I have a lot of characters that like I love very dearly, but trying to think of which ones I would want at a dinner party. I would say the Doctor from Doctor Who.
Which one?
If I had to choose a specific one, I would say 12.
I would like what's her name from Pride and Prejudice?
Lizzie.
Bennett? Yeah, I'd invite Lizzie Bennett.
Oh, that'd be nice.
She's cool.
She's very cool. What did I say?
You said what did she just say? You said
I thought of Ray, Kayla, but I don't.
What did you just say?
What, guys? What did I just say?
12th Doctor.
Doctor.
Oh my god, thank you.
I
I
feel like I need more diversity.
Oh, that's fair.
Which actors? That's Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi is the 12th Doctor.
I would invite It's a good superhero we could invite. Gal Gadot. No. Well, that's her real person. Spider-Man. But like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Who did I pick already?
I want to
I
pick
said
Captain
Leslie-
America's brain, but that's
Oh,
another
I already
straight white
picked
person.
my two. I already picked my two. I said Hermione
Hermione,
and Lizzie
So-
Bennett.
so
Hermione,
Twelfth Doctor.
in my mind, is black, so there's
true.
your diversity.
Um,
Adam Rippon.
Adam Rippon.
Who did I say? Can I switch one out for Adam
I
Rippon?
said Lynn and Obama. You're gonna switch out Lynn or Obama? For
I'll
Adam
switch out
Rippon?
Obama. I love Adam Rippon. He's so funny.
Okay.
You can be Obama anytime. Yeah, Adam Rippon one.
I think it's easier to beat Obama than Adam Rippon.
Yeah, because like maybe one day I'll get a fancy enough award. Like there's no award that lets you meet Adam Rippon. There's awards where you could beat Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway,
His daughter goes to U of M. I could see him any day.
I thought you meant Adam Rippon, and I was like,
No.
yeah, Sasha does go to U of M.
Okay, you're the one that needs to pick your last one.
Natasha Romanoff, because I'm predictable.
That's lame.
I'm
Okay, well,
predictable.
there's our dinner party.
Oh, Pink Floor. See, here's the thing. It wouldn't be Scarlett Johansson. It would be Natasha Romanoff. Thor, though? Taika Waititi.
I don't know. What shall you do? I already switched mine out. You can't have one of my spots.
Oh, no.
You could uninvite
kept
yourself
Lynn.
and give them your seat.
Can I just pick 4 real people and no fiction?
No, that wasn't the question.
I want to invite Taika.
Well, you should have thought about that before you picked whoever else you'd pick.
I gotta go.
Okay. Have a good.
It's your house at
dinner,
another
Andy.
table.
Okay, well, it was Patrick's question, so you have to ask Patrick permission.
I'm gonna die any day now.
Would you like some more questions?
I would.
These are from Avon.
Mm.
Woo. What what TV, movies, books, etc. do you think have had good asexual representation?
Everything in my own head.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of.
I mean, that's the thing is like, if you're asking specifically about good asexual representation, my brain can't even I can't even wrap my head around that because I'm mostly just like, there is asexual representation in X thing. I can't even think about whether it's good or not.
From what I've heard, BoJack Horseman is good.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, so. I'm gonna try and think of where there is any.
What would be a good ace rep? Multi-dimensional characters. Someone who's not just celibate.
Yeah, I think someone. This goes for people it's not just a token character that they're an interesting character. Otherwise, being asexual isn't their entire thing, and that they don't fall into any harmful stereotypes. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shadowhunters.
Right, Shadowhunters.
I haven't watched that either.
I haven't either, but I've heard show them.
Yeah, I think there really just hasn't been a lot.
Yeah, I wish there was so much that I could rank it, but I just
Alas. Yeah.
can't.
How do you think we can bring the same awareness to aromanticism that asexuality has and is having? It's something we struggle with too.
I don't know.
I think
Everyone, look at me. I'm Errol. Be aware of me.
I think starting out by getting people to understand the split attraction model.
Yeah.
And understanding that it doesn't have to be for just ACE people. Like I've heard people say that like outside of the ACE community, like this doesn't matter. So I think people just like understanding that first.
Yeah.
Would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I know I do think it's hard because I think like there have been a lot more like news stories recently, like Teen Vogue and like Cosmopolitan writing about asexuality, because I think it is more of like a splashy thing to write about, like, oh my god, this person doesn't want to have sex, and like it makes a good headline, and like, you know, there's obviously pros and cons that go with that, but I think it's more quote unquote interesting to write about, and that's maybe part of the reason why it's gotten more representation. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know. Also, question might be hard, but would you consider interviewing Airways people with different backgrounds on the pod? I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so many logistical hurdles. I wish there were more Airways people
That we knew.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's something I hope that we can do more in the next year, though.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we want to have Yasmin on, but I think, like, just interviewing other people. Like, there's this lady on Twitter I've seen a couple times who's, like, an Indian researcher, and she runs, like, an Indian ACE group, and, like, she'd be cool to interview. I forget her name right now, which is bad, I know. Or, like, the people that run the Asexual Journal. Like, I think it'd be cool to talk to them. There's obviously, you know, a lot of other people out there.
I think, I mean, I am moving to California in less than a week. So I think once I'm a little bit more settled in, we'll be able to kind of start figuring that out.
Yeah.
Pragati Singh.
That might be it. I'll look on Twitter.
But yeah, that's something we definitely want to do. And as this pod has slowly gotten more professional over the years.
Yeah, Dr. Pragati Singh.
Mm.
Yeah, I think also I think like since we've graduated, we've kind of been worse about organizing. And like hopefully after Sarah moves, we can get back to where we were of like having topics planned out weeks ahead like we used to.
Yeah.
We've been really bad about that recently just because our lives have been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, especially now, we will have to, it'll be like the summer that we were in different time zones and it kind of forced us to be more organized. I think that'll be the way it is again.
Yeah. So
hopefully once we're more organized, we can, you know, like track down a list of people we want to talk to and get on that.
Yeah.
It's Saturday where Patrick is. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, but I would love to be able to interview more people because obviously like having over 100 episodes of just us, it's obviously going to get boring because it's like two people with and we say this a lot, but like very specific experiences.
Oh, Lily asked about Chick-fil-A apparently stopping their funding towards anti-LGBTQIA plus programs and fundraisers and stuff. Have you heard of this? Has this changed your perception of them as a company?
I have heard about this. There's a YouTuber I follow who was like vlogging, and in a video they were like, oh, we're going to Chick-fil-A today because they stopped funding like queer hate groups, so now we can finally eat there. I think it's great that they stopped.
It's a step forward.
Funding it. It's definitely a step forward. It doesn't, for me, change my perception of them. Like just because they stopped giving money to them or giving money to them publicly doesn't mean that they don't still have those ideals. So I mean, I guess I'm not an optimistic person in general, but I'm not like super, hey, mom. But it's not like, you know, I don't know. You know?
Yeah. I agree with all of that. I also just in general think Chick-fil-A is overrated.
Yeah, that's the other thing is my family are huge Chick-fil-A fans. Like anytime we go anywhere down south or like go near the one Chick-fil-A that's like in our hometown or like even in Michigan.
Oh, you're very close to one of the few Chick-fil-A's in Michigan right now.
Yeah.
It's probably not open. But
No, there's one in where I live in Connecticut, but I never go. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan, honestly.
yeah.
So like, it doesn't even really matter to me because I don't get as hype about it.
Yeah,
as
and
other people.
like for me, it's not like do I feel conflicted about supporting this company because I just don't have an urge to support them to begin with.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate your support.
Thank you. It is hard.
It's hard, but hey, I've signed a lease.
Yeah, Sarah's about to do
I
what
have a one-way ticket.
Sarah is like 6 months behind what I just did. So what I was just going through when I moved to Connecticut, Sarah's about to do. So
But you already had a job.
I did already. I mean, yes, there are definitely differences, but you know people. And
I do
didn't. We
know
have
people.
there's different things
Yeah.
that we both were struggling with. But
Mhm.
I think I'm doing quite well.
You have done a lot better.
I'm doing very good.
I forgive you.
For what? For what?
Just seemed like a funny thing to say.
For having a hard time with something that's very hard?
No, I was gonna say I was proud of you, but that seemed too sincere.
Too sincere.
So-
Yeah. I was supposed to be in Cali for an internship in January, but they canceled.
Oh,
That
that's sad.
sucks.
I'm sorry.
Finding jobs and internships is really hard. My boyfriend, who said he was going to watch this later, but I doubt it, so I'm going to talk him and see if he says anything, is on the job hunt right now, and he is having a bad time, which I
Yeah.
remember from when I was doing that this time last year, and
Yeah.
I hated
Like
it.
I have friends who moved out to Los Angeles and were able to find a job in like 2 weeks, but are still underpaid. And I
Yeah.
know people who have been there for a couple months and they're still
It's
just
hard.
doing temp jobs, and it
Mhm.
sucks.
Yeah, I have a relative of mine went out to LA to try to do acting and then quickly moved somewhere else because she was like, the environment is just like, I can't.
It's a lot.
not what I want.
It's a lot.
Oh. Check that moment. Yeah, send us anything.
Send us whatever you
Is it
want.
RH TikTok?
Send us all the Ace content.
I love TikTok, if you didn't know. So, a work message on my phone.
A work message at this hour on a Friday?
Always. Let's see. There was, I think, another question from Avon. What media has had the worst representation of asexuality? Again, I think there's just
All of it?
I think I would say, well, a lot of news stories have been doing like at least an okay job. There's definitely stuff I've read that's like, ooh.
There's always like that like clickbait where it's like,
No.
this person doesn't want to have sex.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's- I think news up like really in-depth the in-depth stories that have been coming out in the news recently at like Vogue and The Guardian and that sort of stuff has been good. But like stuff that's more just like clickbaity
Yeah.
news
I've read ones.
is also kind of common.
I remember talking about this in the past. I feel like I must have just been re-listening to this episode or like listening to a clip of it. But in a class of mine, we were reading an article about asexuality, and it was like 15 ways to know you're asexual. And it was like some of the advice I was like, okay, like whatever. But it was like, regardless of if the advice was good or not, it was just like very clickbaity.
Yeah.
So
I just hate clickbait so much. I just want to put my dog in the pod.
the last one from Avon was cake or pie.
Cake. The only kind of pie I like is apple pie, and I've had some unfortunate experiences with apple pie, wherein A, I ate too much apple pie and then felt very sick, and B, last year at New Year's, I ate apple pie and then I got the stomach flu and I puked it all up, and it was just not good.
I actually don't like any pie, so cake.
I like a good cake.
Kayla did a feminism.
Kayla,
So I didn't even say
was in a
feminism.
feminism
All I said was a class. I did not say what class it was specifically because yes, it was in my feminism class, but I wasn't gonna say it.
just saying. Kayla was in a feminism class.
The drama here.
Guys, look at my scar. It's doing really well. You're welcome for that
I don't have a
content.
scar for you. This dimple. Wait, which side is it on?
That one.
This dimple is a scar.
Thank you for this information.
Have either of you seen the TV show Sirens on Hulu? Boo is an ace character, and I love how they wrote her. I haven't even heard of it.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know anything about the show.
I'll have to watch it. I've never heard of it. This sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Shows the complexity of being ace and how that can be difficult to date. A great example of what questions to ask and not ask an ace person. That's wonderful.
I like it. I also love the idea of sirens being ace. So I just think it's like, I feel like we've talked about this before, but I just like that.
Lure men to their death. Just kill him.
Was there any other questions? I feel like there wasn't. I think that was it.
Sure, sex is great, but have you had clickbait that wasn't bad?
I mean, sometimes you click on something.
This ace person is so cool. Click to find out more.
Sometimes it sounds like clickbait, but they do actually talk about it in the article or the thing.
It's about EMTs in Chicago.
What is? Sirens?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. In my mind, it was about mermaids.
I think it should be about like Lake Michigan.
I thought it was
mermaids.
literally about like sirens.
I think it should be about like sirens who are in Lake Michigan in Chicago.
And they're also EMTs.
And are also EMTs. For people, not just other mermaids.
Mhm.
For all species.
But it's like a secret that they're a mermaid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you were a mermaid, what color fins would you have?
Me?
Mhm.
Like an iridescent, like purple green shift.
Oh, bold. I think I would go for like some sort of blue that makes my eyes look nice. Because I feel like
But they're gonna be it's gonna be so far away from where your eyes are. So far away.
Shh. I don't know. I can't decide what color fin should I have.
Definitely not a light color because it'll wash you out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe black, like a
I would
shiny
look
black.
so pale.
I know, but the contrast.
The contrast.
Maybe like a
But
emerald green,
I don't know about emerald green.
a mauve,
What about like a full
a maroon.
like what if I went like very not like orange, but like
no.
wow.
No
I didn't even
oranges.
say I said not orange.
Orange is too. Pushing Daisies is good too. I've heard Pushing Daisies is really, really good, but I never watched it. Orange is too close to your undertones.
It wouldn't be orange though. It would be like
burnt orange.
yes, burnt orange.
No. How ugly. Ooh, opal. That would be really pretty.
What is opals?
Opal's like the white stone that's really
Whitish.
shiny.
Mhm.
That would be really cool.
Wouldn't be good on me, but
Certainly not.
good on it.
That'd be really cool on dark skin. A contrast.
That's the tea. That was my question for the live stream.
My question. Wait, they haven't answered.
amethyst.
Only Kayla has answered. What fins do they want?
Yeah, guys, tell us. Well, yeah, Kayla's answered. What fins do you guys want? Also, do you have any last questions? Because we have run out of questions.
What's that?
And if we do plan on staying here for 7 hours,
We're going to need more
more
content.
content.
Let's see what's happening on Twitter.
How's our battleships game going?
I haven't played you back.
Oh, Amanda just texted me and said, "How do I find the live stream
Man, you're late.
on
We've
the
already shit
YouTube?"
talked to you. Everyone wants to know if you've been watching The Witcher.
No, but I've seen a lot of gifs on Tumblr about it.
I'm not sure that white stone that's really shining there. It does. It's a birthstone. It's white and shiny.
Gotta go make cookies. That sounds fun. Why is it so warm this winter? It's confusing. I don't know.
Global warming. Is
Yeah,
the
global
answer
warming.
to
It's-
that.
it's very warm
It got
here as
cold
well.
again today, though.
Did
I was
What
out
temperature
pumping
was it?
gas. Well, I don't know, but it felt much colder today.
Yeah, we got a bunch of snow in November, and then it was like Christmas time to be 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
I was telling a friend that in Michigan, it always snows on Halloween,
Mhm.
but not for Christmas. It happened this year.
Yeah,
That's on Pavarti in the outer world. Don't know it.
don't know what's happening there.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Give me more information, Patrick.